Sands whispers secrets, mountains hold forgotten power, and a new prince rises, burdened by destiny. Are you ready to scale treacherous peaks, master deadly combat, and unravel the mysteries of Mount Kaf? Then step into the world of Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown. This isn't your father's Prince of Persia. No time-bending acrobatics here. This is a brutal dance of steel, sweat, and cunning. Explore a sprawling Metroidvania, where every jump, every swing, every clash tests your reflexes and resolve. But fear not, for within Sargon, our unlikely hero, lies the potential for greatness. When it came out, Prince of Persia was one of Ubisoft's most popular series. The 2 Pounds reboot trilogy got a lot of praise. From 2003's Sands of Time to 2010's Forgotten Sands, a new Prince of Persia game came out almost every year. But since then, the series has been mostly quiet. Soon, the remake of Sands of Time and Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, will make that different. The Lost Crown is a 2.5D Metroidvania action game that changes the series in a big way that some people don't like. Some people might think that Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown isn't as good as the bigger tales from the past, but it's actually one of the best games in the series' history. People who play Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown take on the part of Sargon, a member of the Immortals, Persia's most powerful army. Sargon and the other immortals are sent to Mount Kaf to find and free Prince Jason, who has been taken hostage and where time and space don't seem to follow regular rules. There are some cool action scenes and plot turns in The Lost Crown that look like they came straight from a cartoon. The cartoony art style in Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown looks great in the game's cutscenes, but some people will not like how it looks in real life. Even though the art in Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown is unique, the game sometimes looks old and even bland. A lot of people won't mind how The Lost Crown looks, but it's easy to see why some fans might not want to explore Mount Kaf in that way. As soon as Sargon gets to Mount Kaf, he is free to explore however he wants, with only his skills limiting him. In normal Metroidvania style, players find places they can't get to and have to go back to them later when Sargon has new skills. In Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Sargon has some pretty standard powers, like the ability to dash and double jump. He also has some more interesting time-based powers that are used in clever ways throughout the game. You can play Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown by fighting, jumping from platform to platform, and solving puzzles. Sargon's first moves are simple hits, but the ones he learns later in the game give him a lot more ways to attack. In the same way, Sargon can do more difficult platforming routines thanks to his dash, double jump, and other skills we won't reveal. Players will have to solve tricky problems that require them to really think about how to best use Sargon's special skills when they're not fighting enemies or avoiding dangerous traps. Within The Lost Crown's huge Metroidvania map, players will engage in numerous combat actions, platforming, and puzzle-solving activities. The game provides a wide range of activities to keep things interesting at all times. Great job by The Lost Crown on everything it tries to do in these important areas. It also does a great job of managing the difficulties that come with each one. For example, platforming can be really hard, and some parts feel a lot like Celeste in terms of how they're designed. But even though you'll have to try these parts a lot of times, they never get frustrating. That and the fact that the platforming is so fun. Sargon can do amazing things with his special abilities, like dash through small gaps, swing off of poles, and avoid hitting things just in time to stay alive. The Lost Crown has tough fighting that goes well with its tough platforming. The grunts that players of Lost Crown face on their journey are mostly easy to kill, but there are some really tough boss fights in the game. This is where Lost Crown's fighting really shines, because players have to use all of Sargon's tools to stay alive during these intense boss fights. Some boss fights in The Lost Crown will make players feel like they're playing a Souls-like game, even though it's not one. If you play Lost Crown on at least the normal hard setting, you will die a lot when you fight the game's stronger enemies. It would have been easy for these bosses to throw off the balance of The Lost Crown and make it less fun to play and more frustrating. But the makers do a great job of walking the line, giving players heart-pounding boss fights that are hard without being too much to handle. The most remembered parts of Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown are the boss fights. The feeling of victory that comes from beating these fights is similar to the feeling of victory that comes from beating a tough boss in the best Souls-like games. Only problem is that some bosses show up more than once, which can get old. Other than that, The Lost Crown's boss battles are exciting, edge-of-your-seat battles. People who are having trouble with a certain boss can make things more fair. Sargon doesn't level up, but players can still improve his stats by buying amulets and weapon upgrades or finding useful things hidden in Mount Kaf's twisty hallways. The huge map in Prince of Persia. The Lost Crown has huge places that players don't have to go to, but if they do, they'll miss out on valuable prizes. Mount Kaf in Prince of Persia. The Lost Crown is really huge. It's full of secret rooms and hidden areas that make exploring it fun, even if you have to go back a lot of times. Instead of letting players fast travel from one save point to the next, there are rooms specifically designed for fast travel. However, there aren't many of these rooms, so players have to do a lot of boring returning at times. Fans of the Metroidvania genre are used to having to go back and forth between areas, but in the Lost Crown, some areas are just plain annoying to explore, making it a chore to have to do it more than once. At least Sargon will almost certainly find something when he goes through areas that have already been explored but now has new skills. It could be a new side quest, loot, extra boss, or something else. Memory shards are a fantastic item that can be found in Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown. They are able to enhance the overall quality of life. Additionally, it captures a snapshot of the surrounding region and marks it on the map. The players will sometimes come into a difficulty that they are unable to figure out how to fix. Memory shards allow them to take a snapshot of it and then return to it at a later time when they have a better understanding of how to execute it. This does more than simply identify locations on the map. It also provides players with information on whether or not it is worthwhile to return to a certain location. There is a lot of excitement about memory shards in Metroidvania titles, and we are hoping that other games in the same genre will also make use of them. Memory shards are not the only aspect of the game that enhances the overall quality of life and makes it simpler to enter. Players have the ability to customize the Lost Crown experience to meet their own requirements by selecting from a variety of pre-established challenges or by creating their own. The combat system may be disabled for players who do not want to learn it, and the platforming system can be sped up for players who do not wish to engage in it whatsoever. There are different goal markings available in the Lost Crown, and players have the option to disable them if they choose a more traditional Metroidvania experience. This demonstrates that the game may be played in a variety of different ways, not simply via combat and platforming. Even if you have never played a Metroidvania game before, you will absolutely like Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown, since it is a game that everyone will go crazy over. In the Prince of Persia series, Prince of Persia. The Lost Crown is a fantastic Metroidvania game that is also considered to be among the finest games in the series. There is not enough time to determine whether or not it will be regarded with the same level of fondness as Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, or Super Metroid. As we wrap up our review, we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts and experiences with the game in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the content and subscribe for more gaming reviews and insights.